Hey, what's going on, everybody? Here, welcome to an American Truck Sim video. I'm FTG Full Tilt Gaming, and thanks for joining us today. We have got a jam-packed update to give you guys. So, Washinton DLC update just released. It's going to be in June, so that is actually now. That's June the 2nd. At least that's what day we're doing this. So, it is going to be sometime soon. I'm not exactly sure when they'll drop it. They usually never give it to anybody, and all these little, pre-watch stuff and all this stuff. They kind of do that stuff, and then all of a sudden they just drop it. So anyway, if you want to see us, do some new build and drives and some trailer builds and some other things here as Washinton, as soon as it comes out, we will be driving and doing as much as we possibly can. So make sure you make sure you subscribe if you want to keep up with that. Live streams at night, as well as some video footage and some other things during the day of some little secrets and tidbits around here at Washinton DLC to keep up with. So anyway, let's break into it. This is going to be separate from our 135 update as well. That one got a big one. I'm not going to tell you all of it though, but I'm not going to say as well that it has something to do with voices and GPS, but I'm not going to ruin it or spoil it for anybody. So if you want to see what that's all about, then make sure you tune in for that video as well, dropping in hopefully tomorrow morning. So anyway, let's look at this brand new DLC update stuff. Seattle, Port of Seattle, you've got all kind of new tunnels, roads, bridges, all this huge amounts of scenery coming in, but there's some really cool little info things that are nestled and tucked into every single one of these photos, or at least most of them anyway. So right here, we're going to look at one of the new big major landmarks, and that is the Coulee Dam. As you can see, that is it here in the background. So it does have a backside as well, like a reservoir, and then it does have water that pours over the front, which is always it's always nice. But you'll notice a couple of things sitting on this flatbed here that are brand new as well. So if you didn't know, Boeing factory is going to be modeled. So that's BOE. That's north of Seattle. That's Boeing Field, which is where they do a lot of their testing, the takeoffs, and all that other kind of stuff out of Boeing, flying these planes to different locations for delivery. So they do all the restorations and the refurbishing. They do all of the maintenance and a lot of stuff for the Boeing aircraft fleet, at least there, and also assembly plant for Boeing. So it's a really cool place. It's huge in the pictures, which you can find on the SCS blog. But I thought that was cool to just point out that they've thrown a little head nod to the Boeing guys there. So anyway, it's actually Darwin on this one. So anyway, you've got those lovely babies there in the picture. Some more here of the Coulee Dam. You can see this is the outlet area. Inlet area is up on the top, and it's kind of got a let's see, we'll find, there you go. So it's got a nice kind of reservoir area on here. Every dam's got the reservoir up on top, then it all spills over into the outlet on the other side. You can see all of these are really just kind of different angle shots of everything that's going on here. So really cool. Even got this little fox shot out there, which I kind of like. I guess it'll be like LED lights or signs or something. If it's animated, I'm not sure, because I'm not a native of Washington. So if you are, then leave me a comment and let me know if you've ever seen that and exactly what it is. I always like seeing those comments from people that are actually in the area, because the coolest thing is when when SCS does some stuff like this, they actually model the real life stuff. People like live in Washington are like, dude, freaking sweet. It's not copy and paste, because that's like right by my house and it looks exactly like that. So it's always cool to see that kind of thing. The second thing that we want to talk about, besides the Coulee Dam being a nice addition in, is going to be the new Seattle. So they've actually done quite a bit of some updating here as well. I wanted to point out a couple pictures here on the first as well that kind of throw some head nods to some other locations as well. Vancouver, British Columbia. There is another Vancouver that is in Washington. If you don't believe me, yes, go ahead and Google it. Some people argued with me in the last video and said the Vancouver is not in Washington. Yes, it is. It is a suburb, and actually a pretty big suburb there in Washington. And then you also have signs that lead you to Vancouver, British Columbia. Now, does that mean that that SCS is going to release any type of Vancouver, British Columbia with the DLC that's going to at least get you into the city? Maybe like, we just for that little step of the road, we kind of touch Idaho. I doubt it, because Vancouver, British Columbia is not exactly just right up next side of the border. So I would look for this to potentially, now this is just me just spitballing here, I kind of think that maybe that might be a way for the guys doing the pro mod stuff. They might be able to continue on their map there, because they are doing Vancouver, British Columbia, and that would be a free map mod. If you know anything about pro mods, got to go watch the video. I'll maybe try to put a card here and let you know where that video is. You can kind of see what pro mods is planning to go here with the little brother of ETS, which is really cool and awesome. The second one I want to point your eyes to is for multiple landmarks in this one. You've got the huge downtown city here, but what I want to do is I want to focus on about 3 or 4 different things, and I want you to notice and look at at the depth of this picture. Look at the viewing, look at the draw distance. You got the Space Needle, you've got downtown, you've got all you can see, you've got Business Row up there. And then you've also got these roads, and you can see underneath that you are on the overpass. You're not on actual like solid ground, as in it's nestled on the foundation. You've got more roads underneath, so you're on an overpass fixing to go into a tunnel. Then you got the Space Needle on. So the depth of this shot and the multi-level terrain and elevation of the shot is absolutely cool. Love seeing this stuff, because the thing that's always bugged me about ATS is everything seems very flat and two-dimensional. And the only way to make it seem three-dimensional is to put all of these images in different like rows and, you know, different stuff. And all of a sudden you wind up having these weird elements that you can almost see them turn and face you as you go by them. But this actually feels like it's settled in, like this is true open world. So I know it's not like a huge thing that's purposeful, but I think it's quite purposeful in the way that this has the appearance as you're going to be driving on this road, that you do have this depth that's not really been there until Oregon. Oregon kind of brought some things in, but the problem with Portland is that you're like 35 stories, like the same as all the buildings. Like it almost feels like you're driving on top of the buildings in Portland, which has always been a little bit of always a kicker with me, but anyway, doesn't really matter. And then another great shot here of just everything that's going on with this DLC. It's just a lot. I love the downtown area; it looks good. This one is pulling in the Seattle port of Seattle. Obviously, you can see you got the same SCS stuff there, but you will expect to see all of the road signs greatly upgraded. Arizona, at least in the 135, is going to have upgraded too. There's no way in the world that they're not going to have the same upgrade to the road signs, highway signs, crossing signs, all the different caution signs that we use here in the States. It's going to be cool to see all that nestled in with these big, huge economies and big, huge freighter places. Tunnels, this is another one coming in. I don't know if Washington has many tunnels or just a couple of really like landmark tunnels. It's kind of like New York City, you know, they've got the Holland Tunnel and the Lincoln Tunnel, and those are kind of like your trademarks. And then you've got your bridges that lead in and out of the city. So it looks like you will have access to either go through a couple if this one actually does cross any kind of water, goes through, but you will have these. And they do run in, they do showcase here. One of these tunnels does go under the Washington State Convention Center, which I thought was really, really cool. So another one of those depth shots where it's like you can really see the amount of stuff, and even the I don't know if it's kudzu or if it's some type of a vine lattice that's coming down over the convention center walls there. I'm like, that's just from a texturing standpoint and just a realistic standpoint, and a really put you in the range of the map. I'm like, that's just cool. Lots of different textures, lots of different terrain angles, which looks really good. This one, none of the different. You can see these huge big shipping lane bridges over here. You've got downtown in the foreground, as well as Vancouver British on the 5, Spokane, Washington, Dearborn Street. All of this stuff over here as well. Just huge amounts of detail in these. Obviously, the piggyback Kenworth trucks there, that's going to be an update with 135. You see Darwing, which is going to be brought in from Boeing. So those are going to be stuff. So expect the curtain trailers and stuff to be carrying aircraft parts. As for anything else that's going to be carrying special transport, I don't really know. I do know that they said that they were going to be pulling some special transports in and around the dam. So if you're interested, I don't know if that's going to bring any kind of new loads, or maybe you'll get maybe a little bit of an update on some of that. I have no idea. They don't allude to it. They just say there'll be new special transportation routes that'll lead you in and around the dam for some really good viewing angles. So I don't know whether or not you're actually be delivering to that, at least what you would be delivering, because most of those are either construction parts or they're mining parts, which I was a little bit disappointed with them before, but it is what it is. And then you've also got some of the other Seattle port, some more downtown shots and that kind of thing. So we'll just kind of thumb through the rest of these. You can just see the pure size. Here's another one, terrain angles, how they've stacked all this in a three-dimensional space. It's really cool. So I'm really excited. This is one of my favorite shots because it showcases a lot of things. You can see off to your top right there, you'll see Seattle, but you also see the huge Port of Seattle's on the left side, as well as all of these bridges and all of this stuff just intertwining and going everywhere. You've got roads crossing underneath. You've got all of these big overpasses and nice complex road systems. Brand new signs that actually look the way they should be. At least on the state side. So it's really cool to see like all of this stuff impacted in one side DLC, because you guys know at me, I'm always more like the appearance of the realism of what's going on, and it really does help, especially because once you drive on the roads once, it's fine. Would you ever drive on them if it felt like it's copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste? You can arrange the roads differently, but still at the end of the day, everything sounds and looks the same. You think about coming from Oregon, you've got forestry, you've got the woodland, you've got the coastal areas for Coos Bay all the way up into Salem. Medford looks the way. I mean, Medford's a really, really cool town. I like Klamath Falls. All of these have their own individual kind of feeling on the map, even though they all kind of spatially reside in that Oregon, in the Oregon scenery. Washington, from all the pictures that I've seen, it seems to be that it does a really good job doing the exact same thing, piggybacking on what they already did on the Oregon side. The other one that I want to pull out is a new load. Now, this load is like in 4 or 5 of the pictures, and that is this new yacht. So I'm excited to see what the modders may do with this trailer, what kind of loads they can create here with this yacht trailer. It'd be interesting to see if this is actually a new cargo trailer that maybe pops in with this, or maybe a secret kind of add-on to the 135. So we'll kind of see how that one rolls with this. But anyway, this is all about the Washington DLC ports. All of these brand new landmarks that have come in, the Coulee Dam as well. So huge stuff is going to be in this one. So anyway, you guys make sure you put this on your Steam wish list. I will put a link here in the top of the description for you can add this straight to the wish list. You can also go in and check out some of these on the blog yourself, kind of study some of these pictures. And if you find anything that I missed, literally, I'm all ears. Put it in the comment. And if it's if it's something that's like, hey dude, I live there and that building is that, and it looks exactly the same way it does in real life, then let us know. I'll pin some of those comments and highlight some of those so other guys can check it out and see and get some more information, because the community works best when the community all pitches in. So that'll be kind of cool to see what you guys come up with on that. So anyway, welcome to Washington, guys. No time, hopefully very soon we're going to have some Washington in our wheels, and we're going to be able to drive on the roads there of Washington. So I'm super duper excited about that. So anyway, make sure you like if you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to keep up with more updates, 1 through 5 updates, as well as live streams, all kinds of stuff. We're going to be branching off and doing a lot of new things here with the channel here this summer and fall. So we're going to kind of try to encompass some more driving stuff with the new rig and all kinds of cool stuff. I got lots of cool ideas, and I hope you guys will share it in the journey here for the channel. So thank you guys for 30,000. It's really super cool to actually say I have 30,000 subs. It's like kind of like this landmark when I tell my buddies, yeah, I got 30,000. They're like, what? I'm like, yes, I know, right? So anyway, thank you guys for the support, financial support, as well as the subscriber support, sponsor support. It is all greatly appreciated. So much love you all. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this Washington DLC update. Stay tuned. We'll have a 135 open update, like I said, which is going to involve voices and GPS, maybe a recalculating or two here or there. I don't exactly know, but anyway, we'll dive into that one as well in our next video. So we'll see you guys here in the next video, guys. Peace.